Hey, good morning to you. Hey, this is Oz on Smash Bros Radio. You can find Smash Bros Radio on Instagram, Facebook, as well as YouTube. We got a special guest in the studio today. Got my nephew with me, and we're going to talk about his event and also meet the triple winner, Butter. So let's get the announcements out of the way. C4 is having suits for seniors, and this is an annual uh, thing that they do for the seniors. Uh, the elders of C4 are excited to announce the second annual Cultivate for Four mentoring Suit for Seniors events. This initiative aims to provide graduating uh, senior high school students with a symbol of their transition into adulthood by giving them a well fitted suit that represents their hard work, achievements, and future potential. At Cultivate for Mentoring, they believe that a suit can act as a powerful tool in bombing young men with confidence and a sense of purpose as they step into the next chapter of their lives. With your support, you can provide the young men with the tools they need to succeed. Last year's event was a huge success, and the elders are looking forward to making this year's event even better. If you are interested in supporting their cause or learning more about their initiative, please send them a direct message. Your donation will go directly towards providing these students with high quality, well fitted suits, giving them a tangible representation of their newfound sense of purpose and potential. Thank you for your support, and we hope to see you at our second annual Cultivate for Mentoring suit for senior event. Listen, if you know of a manager or if you are affiliated with a men's apparel shop, please get in touch with the elders over at C4 and come up with some type of partnership. Come if you like to be a benefactor, if you like to be a sponsor, even if you want to be a mentor, they have a place for you. Also, C4 on March 25th, C4 is having exposure to new skills in leadership and manhood. It's for boys 13 to 18 years old at Fountain Heights Recreation Center, 1191 15th Avenue North in Birmingham. For more information, you can contact info at cultivate4.org. So please check the C4 out. You can contact them at 205 677 6024. 205 677 6024. You can also email them at info at cultivate4.org. Info at cultivate4.org. So check them out. They're always in need of sponsors, donations, benefactors. So please help them out. Please help them out. Now, what we got? Uh, how many times have you been on this show?
Oh man, several. I appreciate it every time.
Man, I
Every time.
appreciate you. Uh, you have an event coming up.
November.
November, I'm about to say December.
Yeah, November 11th. November 11th, the Southern Bully Showdown. It'll be at Bessemer Civic Center. Starts at 9 o'clock in the morning, and we'll be there until the last dog is shown. Yeah, we'll be there till the last dog is shown. So, like I said, we appreciate if everybody come out. If you don't have a dog, you're still invited. You know what I'm saying? We want to educate you more about the breed. And like I said, everybody have a good time.
Now, one thing that, and I apologize. Well, no, I don't. Uh, People don't seem to understand. You have this. Not even this isn't even a year for you.
hmm
You've been like, was it close to
Probably like a year and a half.
a year
Like I
and a
said,
half?
I've owned my first two dogs. Selena's four now. Selena's four, Dead's
Get
three,
out.
and I've been showing for probably like a year and a half.
Do you understand how
Mhm.
far you grown?
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I understand, but like I said, I understand what else that got to be done too. So, like I said, it's kind of I stay humble because I know it's more work to be done. So it's really not no point of getting excited too early. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
I still got a lot of work to be done.
So would you classify your kennel as a dynasty now, or you have was it two more breeds coming up, or was it litters,
Yeah,
litters,
yeah, yeah,
litters?
yeah. I wouldn't classify it as that yet. You know what I'm saying? We on our way. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We on our way. But like I said, we got Butter coming up next to be bred and her first time being a mother. So like I said, it's the same transition all over again. You know what I'm saying? We did it probably 2 years ago with Selena, and we produced Butter. So now it's Butter's turn to see what she gonna produce.
Because one thing I want to emphasize anytime we meet is that the bully,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm understanding,
Mm-hmm.
finally, the bully is a breed in itself.
Yeah, the
It's
American
just
Bully is his own breed.
right.
You have what they call bully breeds,
Okay.
like the English Bulldog, the French Bulldog, the Pit Bull Terrier. All those are bully breeds.
Okay.
But the American Bully has 4 different varieties, which is the Pocket, the Classic, the Standard, and the XL. Those are, and the only thing that's different with those are the size of the dog.
Now
But
the
they all should
pocket,
look the same.
is the pocket so like what's the word? So like a hybrid? Is that the
No,
proper?
it's a butter, but it's just shorter.
Shorter. Okay.
Mhm.
So there's 4. So basically you have the teacup, then the medium sized,
It
and
goes
then
up
butter
in
is the
size.
largest.
Exactly.
Now is everybody in your kennel an XL?
No.
Oh, so you
Yeah.
have a variety.
Yeah, I got a couple standards because like I said, Roy the Runt, she's smaller than everybody else, so she ended up a standard. So she's not as tall as Butter, but she got the same build as Butter, but she's just not her height.
Okay, so let's give everybody a lineage.
Mhm.
So Butter's parents is Selena and
And Dessalines.
Dessalines.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because of you being, and you may not accept this,
Mm-hmm.
but because of you being a reputable kennel,
Mm-hmm.
a breeder, you also know the grandparents
Mm-hmm.
or the parents of Celine and Desiree.
Correct.
So you know pretty much exactly the lineage. Is that the proper term?
Exactly.
So from the grandparents, now with the breeders, do you have to go to the great grandparents, or you can just stop at the grandparents?
I mean, they're gonna have pictures of the great grandparents, but
Right.
like I said, the further you go back, the less the breed pulls from the great grandparents. So you have like a quarter of what they pull from the great grandparents.
Because one thing you taught me is that there are certain characteristics or certain standards
Mm-hmm.
that if you want to classify your dog, there's certain things that you have to acknowledge.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to breeding, to keep the bloodline pure,
Mm-hmm.
there's certain characteristics that you look for, just like what we was talking about earlier when you take them out to the park and all. People come up to you and say that, well, I have this stud, but now because I worked hard to make this bloodline pure, I'm not going to allow you to come in.
Just breed it with anything.
Right.
Yeah.
So Selena started with the training, and then you went to Butter.
Mm-hmm.
And Butter.
Actually, I went to Dez, which is her dad.
Okay.
Like I said, Dez was our second dog.
Okay.
And then once we bred those 2 dogs together, Selena and Dez, that's when we got Butter.
Okay.
So it's a trickle down effect. Mom and dad taught the daughter. Now the daughter's teaching her sisters and brothers.
Because we fail to realize that animals have some characteristics that are similar to humans because they watch and they observe. They may be more observant than what we are, but they're watching. And so that makes your training easier because they're watching the sister
and mom.
Yeah. Now with Selena, with Butter, she's a triple winner.
Triple champion.
Triple champion. And we were talking about a grand, which means that you have to have 5. But to be a grand, and because of the competitions or the showcases being sporadic, well, that pretty much adds even more flair to becoming a grand because it's not so rapid, which adds to the value of Butter.
Yeah.
Or really to the value of the kennel, because people are understanding if you are, and that's one thing people have to understand, if you are a reputable breeder, if your kennel is reputable, there are certain standards that the bully nation has to follow.
Exactly.
Now, if you want a cheap dog, we can find you a cheap dog, or the cheap dog will find you.
Exactly.
But if you want to put your money into something,
it's like an investment. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. Thank you.
You can cheat yourself, you know what I'm saying? Or you can look at it as if you're in it for the long haul, you're going to want to spend your money.
Correct.
Because, like I said, it's really no get rich quick scheme in the dog business. Period.
Right.
Even if you breeding Rottweiler, Shih Tzus, or you still gotta do your research. You still gotta do your homework. You still gotta find those other reputable breeders to breed with.
Right.
So, like I said, if you're not doing your homework, you're gonna lose because you're not doing the right thing by the dog.
Right.
So, like I said, it's easy to go out and find somebody that's selling Shih Tzus on the side of the road. You know what I'm saying? Versus, you know what I'm saying, going to find somebody that's been showing Shih Tzus.
Right.
They've been in the Shih Tzu community for a while. They know what's going on.
And then you came up with Alabama Power
Bully Connection.
Bully Connection,
Mhm.
which is pretty much the homestead or the foundation for all the bully
Mhm.
kennels in Alabama.
Mhm.
Because it seems like other states already had this type of organization, but Alabama was lacking or didn't have that connection that the other states had.
Mhm.
Because you've gone, Lord, you've done a lot of check. Because you've gone to Georgia,
Yeah.
Tennessee,
Georgia, Tennessee, Louisiana, Mississippi, uh, in Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina.
and then with these competitions, you're meeting also contacts.
Meet contact, different breeders, different people, like I said, that sell breeding supplies. You know what I'm saying? It's all about networking. And like I said, you go to the show, yeah, you want to win the show, but at the end of the day, it's a networking event. So like I said, even if then nobody at this show know you, your job is to make everybody know you and your kennel by the time you leave that show.
Right.
So like I said, even if you don't win the show, you still got a job to do. Once the show is over, you just go walking around networking. Like I say, it's all different classes of dogs at the show. So when it's not your turn to show, then you should be around walking around networking.
Because you're creating that sort of like that unit that's going to help you
Mhm.
become better than what you already are.
Yeah, and it's a community. Like I said, this is already a community before I got there. So I had to make my own lane in there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I had to be, you know what I'm saying, start winning and showing dogs and okay, who is that guy? You know what I'm saying? So now, hey, I'm such and such. How you doing? I like your dog. What's your stud fee? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Maybe we can work together later.
And in that year, how long have you been competing?
About a year and a half. Like I said, about a year and a half I've been competing.
So in that year and a half, you pretty much have made your mark so that way they understand who Selena is.
Yeah.
They know who Butter. They know who Butter is.
Yeah, they know everybody.
They know everybody.
Yeah.
Now, do you eventually want so that way, eventually you have at least 2 of your puppies competing, or would just rather just keep one and focus on, like with Butter, focus on Butter?
I mean, I would rather have just one and focus on that one and campaign that one dog.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, it's a job and it costs. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, going to shows costs, traveling costs, hotel, all that costs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like I said, until I get to that point where I can pack up 5 or 6 dogs and show them all at one time, then
Right.
like I said, I'm gonna do it one dog at a time.
Because with you showing other dogs, you're going to have handlers.
Mm-hmm. Because we're gonna be competing against
If
each
you're
other.
going right.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's really what it comes down to.
Mhm.
You're competing against each other, or you're competing against yourself.
Exactly.
But at the same time, you have a better chance. But see, as in Butter's case, she's already a triple.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned earlier too that when you go to these, especially to be a grand,
Mhm.
that you cannot have the same judge judging her because of bias or prejudice.
Yeah. So when she go, like I said, she's in the champion class. She need 5 champion class wins in
Okay.
order to become a grand champion. But those 5 champion wins got to come under 5 different judges. So the same judge can't judge a dog and just, okay, I like that dog, give her the win. I like that dog, give it a win. So it has to get judged by, say for instance, if I was a judge, I had to judge a dog, you would have to judge a dog,
Right.
another person had to judge a dog, and that dog and give that dog a win in order for it to become a grand
So there's
champion.
no question
Exactly.
because each
had 5 different opinions.
right.
On this
To
one
see,
dog.
that's it. And
Yeah.
people have to understand. See, that's one thing I like about your shows, your showcases. It's open to everyone.
Yeah, it's open to the
You
public.
don't have to be you don't have to have a kennel. You don't have to.
Exactly.
It's open to everyone.
Mhm.
And one thing that it gives you an understanding of exactly what a bully is all about.
Mhm.
And like you was mentioning, the characteristics, because butter has a certain, is it, you call it a champagne color? Is that
they call it fun? You know what I'm saying? They call it fun.
Do me a favor.
Mm-hmm.
Would you mind bringing butter out in front of that, so that I want everybody to see what butter looks like. That's butter. That's butter. That's butter. Look at her. She already knows. She already has a stance, don't she? Was it easy to train her to do the competition? Look at her. That's butter. There's no butter. Now she's coming into breeding, correct?
Yeah, like I said, within the next probably a month and a half, we'll be expecting her to come in the heat.
Okay.
Yeah, come on.
Now, with this being her first, oh wow! Now, so you've already picked out the studs.
Yeah, her first and second stud is already picked out. So, like I said, we just waiting on time to come and run the breedings. And like I said, both of the studs we picked out, they're champions also. So, like I said, they've been confirmed, and don't really have to ask too many questions about, okay, is this the correct dog to be breeding with?
Now, explain what confirm means.
Confirm was when you go to a confirmation show, which is the show that we attend.
Okay.
And like I said, they overlook your whole dog, let you know, okay, there's no flaws, there's no, you know what I'm saying, this is a great dog to breed with. Because like I said, when you go to shows, you confirm your dog, it's like the breeding stock of the dog. These are the dogs that you should be breeding with. The dogs that win are the dogs that people should be breeding with, or these kind of dogs. If it's not that exact dog, it should be these kind of dogs.
Right.
So, like I said, it's letting people know, okay, this dog is okay to breed with.
Which comes to mind too, since she's a champion, you will want her to breed with another champion, because, like, I have a question now. Just like when somebody comes to you in the park and say, "Well, I have this stud," and you ask, "Well, is your dog confirmed?"
Yeah, is your dog confirmed, or does your dog have paperwork?
Oh, the paperwork, because you have to have paperwork. And see, that's another thing. These are purebreds. This is it's just like any other. It's just like any other breed. Now, what we have become familiar with is actually not a byproduct, but it's actually. But you have a pure blood, a pure breed. So, if you were to breed butter with someone who, even though they have the papers, but isn't a champion, would that weaken the bloodline?
It depends on the parents and grandparents of their dog.
Okay.
Like I said, you have some people that don't show their dog. They
Right.
have great dogs. And win in the show ring, they just don't show dogs.
Okay.
So, like I said, it's a two-edged sword. So, like I said, as long as they got that paperwork so you can see the dogs that made their dog.
Correct.
And if, like I said, if it clicked with what you got going on in your program, then it can work. So, it don't necessarily have to be another champion dog. You would like for it to be.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? But like I said, you have people. Yeah, like say if you buy a dog, you might not want to show your dog. That's your pet. That's your companion.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, if you want to breed that dog and
that's it.
He got the look, he got the looks behind him, the names behind him, his grandparents and grandparents' name. This is his dog.
Right.
You can breed the dog. You can probably create a grand champion dog. But like I said, it's all about the DNA, genetics, and the blood. That's what really make the dog. A lot of people think, what can I feed my dog? Don't have nothing to do with what you feed the dog. It's all about what was made to make that dog.
Right. Because, see, again, in one thing we have to change our mindset. The bully is a purebred. So, but you have two types of owners. If you want to be a breeder, well then, like if I want to be a breeder, I can't do it because it's too scientific. But anyway, if I wanted to be a breeder, I will look for a dog that would have a champion line in her or in him, because that would enhance the value of my dog, because the mama and the daddy and the grandparents or one of the grandparents are champions. So if I wanted to be a breeder,
Mhm.
I would want that blood in my dog.
Exactly.
But if I don't want to be a breeder, and that's okay,
Mhm.
you just want it
Yeah.
for a pet, well, then you don't necessarily have to have a champion.
No.
But
Like I said, that
as long
champion
as they
blood might.
take the papers,
The champion blood is going to cost you more money than having. Like just like you might have out of having a litter of 12 puppies, you might have 6 dogs that's show quality dogs.
yes, sir.
You might have 5 dogs. You might have 3 dogs. It's just okay. They might make it and they might not in the show ring. And you might have the other dogs left straight pet quality dogs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you sell them as pets. So it's like it's not like you breed a dog and your whole breeding. I mean, your whole litter is gonna be champion dogs. Don't work like that.
Okay.
So you might have a good. You have a litter of 12. You might have a good 4 dogs that's show ring quality.
Right. Now, if you are getting interested
Mhm.
in the bully breed,
Mhm.
and you want to find out the lineage, you can go to a vet to find out. Or how does one find out? If I just
So the lineage of your dog is when you get your paperwork on your puppy.
correct, okay,
So when you get your paperwork on your puppy, it's gonna be an application,
yes, sir,
and the application is for you to name your dog.
okay,
You know what I'm saying? Once you name your dog and you send in that application, they're gonna send you a paperwork back with your lineage on it.
okay,
It's gonna have your dog name on the front and your dog parents' name on the front. Now, when you open it up, you're gonna have the parents, great grandparents, great great grandparents. So you looking at the names and all these dogs. So it's on you to go research these dogs.
right,
Every dog that's on your pedigree, that's what they call a pedigree. So every dog that's on your pedigree is on you to go look at that dog and see. Because most of them are passed. Great grandparents and stuff like that. Most of them are passed away. So you have to find these people that used to have these kennels and old pictures of these dogs, and okay,
right,
this is how this dog used to look. This is how the great grandparent looks. So you know the great grandparent produced the grandparent. So
right,
you looking at okay, what traits are really carrying on?
exactly.
Exactly. You looking at what traits are really carrying on from generation to generation.
So you have to do your due diligence.
Yeah, you gotta do some work. Gotta do some work.
Especially with Butter's coloring, because
Mhm.
you were saying that her coloring comes from her grandmother,
Mm-hmm.
which is mind blowing to me.
Mhm.
But I mean, it's tech.
Which is Dez's mom. So like I
Right.
said, Dez and Selena are both blue dogs. Dez's mom is buttercolor. So like I said, out of butter litter, I think I got 3 dogs. Yeah, it was 3 dogs that was buttercolor, and the rest of them was blue.
See, I find that fascinating. And for anybody who's just coming in, when you are a kennel, when you are a breeder,
Mm-hmm.
it's similar to what we used to do. It sounds elementary, but it's true. It's what we used to do in school when it came to the damn fruit flies.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes down to if you have a certain is building the lineage or whatever, and that's the same way it is with the breeder and all.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain characteristics that you see, especially when it comes to the coloring.
Yeah, sir.
And I was really embarrassed this morning when I was asking about the coloring. But it's common sense.
Yeah.
If you want to, if that's what you want your dog's coloring to be, you have to find a stud
exactly.
with that coloring.
Or got that color in it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Grandparents or great grandparents. Well, mostly you want parents and grandparents.
Right.
So the closer it is to the dog you're breeding with, the better chance you have.
And then two, it depends on the litter too.
Mhm.
Because the first litter you may not have the coloring, but
Mhm.
the second litter you might have the coloring.
Mhm. Exactly.
And so, see, people need to understand this is a science.
Yeah, and it's a gamble. You're doing your work, but it's still a gamble at
Right.
the end of the day. So, like I said, you can't really predict on what's gonna come out of that dog once you breed it. But like I
Right.
said, the only thing you can do is your homework and your work on the front end to make sure I'm getting the best quality I can get once I breed this dog.
So what was your purpose in coming? Because this is your second showcase or your third case?
Second. Like I said, we had a few meet and greets in the park, but this is gonna be our second show.
Second show.
Yeah.
And it's growing.
Mhm. Mhm.
Also, do you have all the categories filled yet?
No, I have 4 categories need to be filled, which is the English Bulldog, male and female, and the Shorty Bull, male and female.
And that's $75.
$75, which is it comes with free advertisement from now until the show. Your logo of your business or your kennel will be on the show ring banner, and those trophies are the categories I name. Your name will be on those trophies also. So if it's Shorty Bull, Best Shorty Bull Female, it'll be Best Shorty Bull Female, sponsored by such and such and such and such.
Now, and they don't have to be a kennel.
No, they don't have.
They
to
don't
be
have to
kennel.
be
You
a
could
breeder.
Be a salon. You could be a DJ, a comedian, a massage therapist. if you got a business that want to be promoted, it's a good way to do it because, like I said, I'm gonna promote it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna promote it.
And it can be. Listen, if you are into bullies and you want to sponsor, you can sponsor $75.
$75.
And then, you can have your name on the banner. And then
banner.
you can have your name on the trophy. So you can be an individual, you can be a frat, you can be a Greek organization, non-Greek business, anything. If you eat, hey, listen, if you're a stripper out there, you want to, you can sponsor that. We can sponsor.
Come on down.
What is it? What is it? What is it? Fury, fire, flame, what? Listen, if you got a strip club, we want your money.
Yeah.
And also you can bring your dancers out there and, just get in touch with DeJuan.
Yeah. You walk around, you know what I'm saying? Have you some decent, because kids going to be in the building.
Yeah,
so
please. Kids are going to be in the building. It's family oriented. So, but this is your chance to get a knowledge, to get an understanding, because we don't, as usually with anything, we don't publish or we don't, acknowledge the good. We always do the bad.
Yeah.
And then when it comes down to the breed itself, it goes back to the owner. So if, and like you mentioned earlier with the characteristics, I hate to bring this up, but if you breed your dog for whatever you want your dog to do, if you want your dog to have a certain characteristics of mildness and all that, you look for that characteristics in any other dogs. So you breed your dog for whatever, but it's a purebred, and we have to change our mindset. Bullies are purebreds. It's just like with the Dobermans, just like with them damn French poodles. They are purebred, and we need to focus on that. And then with you showing these showcases, you're actually showing the creme de la creme when it comes to the breed. And that's what people really understand.
So like I said, we invite everybody out to showcase their dog, you know what I'm saying? So everybody can see, the public can see, okay, these are not bad or vicious dogs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people look at our dogs and think it's a pit bull. Then once they think pit bull, they think Michael Vick.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When these are two totally different dogs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My dog ain't in here tearing nothing up. Don't none of my dogs fight nobody. They're not food aggressive. They're not people aggressive. Or none of that. You know what I'm saying? Now, like I said, the average female, while not being pregnant, while in labor, she might get aggressive then. Right. She don't know. Like I said, if you come in my house and Selena having puppy, and you try to rub Selena, she's gonna bite you.
Right.
Because she's in labor.
She don't want to be bothered.
Kicked in, and she don't want to be bothered.
Right.
So she's like, I never met you before.
So why are you
in here touching me while I'm having my kids? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's like I said, it's just like a human. If somebody walked in your wife or old lady doctor room and she pushing your baby out, and somebody just coming in and just rub across the forehead, she gonna be like, "Oh, this guy touching me." You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with the dog.
Because the first time that I met Selena, I didn't have any problem. Now see, what you see on Facebook is not really Selena. Selena's dog is huge.
Yeah.
Selena looks like Hercules and Amazon because I was Facebook lied. You lied.
I mean,
Selena is big.
I try to keep it transparent as possible, and like I tell people all the time, man, people are more than welcome to see my dogs. I don't try to hide nothing. Like I said, I'd rather it be that way versus the other way around, because you got a lot of people out here that Photoshop their dogs.
Right.
So you'll see a dog on Facebook and it look big, but once you see it in public, it's like,
let me tell you,
the dog I saw.
Selena is big.
So like I said, I'd rather her look small on Facebook. Yes. Once you see her, I'm like, yeah, she's this big for real.
She's beautiful. Well, both the mama and daddy are beautiful, and they have the same temperament.
Like I said, they dogs. Like I said, some days they go chill, some days they want to run around all day and play. So like I said, they had their moments. They're gonna waste their energy. Once they get through wasting their energy for the day, they're gonna chill out.
And see, that's another thing you brought up. I think that's the first or second time we met. If you sit on the couch, let's take me for I'm not doing anything other than yard work. I'm not going to do no running. I'm not.
See, Dez like that. Dez is just like that. Dez is the laziest dog in my house. Only time Dez move fast is when it's time to eat, or it's a female in heat. When somebody in heat and it's time to go eat, Dez, he coming.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If it's his favorite, he got a favorite toy he like playing with. He'll run for that toy, but just throwing balls and all that, he not finna do all that. They just rather sit on the front porch and just watch cars pass by every day. You know what I'm saying? That's his personality, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But now Selena and Bud, on the other hand, they ready to go. You know what I'm saying? They need something to do.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's one thing when you pick out a dog, you
Mhm.
have to keep in mind your schedule.
Mhm.
You have to understand your activities
Mhm.
because if you're active,
Mhm.
then you need a dog that's going to be active.
But even like when you pick your puppy, if you go to someone's house to pick your puppy, you really they show those traits early. So if you getting your dog at 6 weeks, you got a certain dog that keep jumping up to the box, jumping to the top of the box, they let you know then that dog gonna be active.
Right.
Now you might have 2, 3 other puppies laying down.
Right.
They ain't doing nothing. Them that if you don't have an active lifestyle, get one of those dogs that's laying
Right.
down. Because this active puppy is showing you, hey man,
Right.
I'm finna be running around and jumping. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So like I said, it's best to pay attention and observe what you're getting. Cause like I said, a lot of people, I want that when he cute, he jumping around. But if that's not your lifestyle, you're
Right.
gonna be bringing that dog back, or you're gonna be complaining about, or 6 months later you're gonna be trying to sell the dog
Right.
because you didn't pick the dog that was acclimated to your lifestyle versus what you saw and you wanted by the eye.
Right. And every dog is not going to fit your household.
Nah.
And that's one thing we have to keep in mind.
Mhm.
There's certain dogs that are athletic.
Mhm.
There's certain dogs that are lap dogs.
Mhm.
So you have to choose a dog that fits your personality.
Mhm.
And also, if you don't have an aggressive attitude, you don't need to have a dog that's aggressive per se, because again, as you mentioned, I think in our first or second meeting,
Mhm.
you are the alpha when it comes to that dog.
But that's with any dog.
That
That's with
exactly.
any
Thank
dog.
you.
You know what I'm saying? You can have a Shih Tzu, and like I said, it's a smaller dog, but at the same time, if you're not showing that dog you the pack leader, that
Correct.
dog gonna take that role.
And see, that's another thing. We have to quit separating the bully from the rest of the purebreds because they're all dogs.
Mhm.
They're all
Yeah,
breeds.
they all breeds.
And
at
they're
the
going
end
to
of
have
day.
the same characteristics straight across the board.
Because they domesticated wolves at the
Yes,
end of the
thank
day.
you.
So yeah, they used to being in packs. They used to having a alpha that runs the pack.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? So if it's no alpha, then it's gonna be chaos everywhere.
right,
So like I said, you might see people they walking their dog, the dog pulling them the whole time.
right,
You know what I'm saying? So they haven't showed their dog, like, hey, this is how we walk. This is how we gonna walk. We don't do
right.
that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like a child, just like raising your child. It's the same thing.
You see, that's what I was talking. Butter,
Mhm.
butter obeys and acts better than what some of these children out here does, because you can talk to her and she does it.
Mhm. Mhm.
She doesn't give you no
Like I
back
said, that
talk.
comes
She
with
does
discipline
it.
too. So like I said, it's a lot of discipline that y'all probably don't see on
Right.
Facebook. You know what I'm saying? I don't show it for pet lovers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But at the end of the day, I know what it takes to maintain my dog. I know what it takes to not make this dog run in the middle of the street. I know what it takes if the dog see a squirrel, not to make that dog. Her natural instinct is to chase the squirrel anyway.
Right, right,
But I need enough control over this dog so when she see that squirrel, she don't chase the squirrel.
right.
So by her focused on that squirrel, she running the street, get hit by a car. Now it's on me
And
because
I've
I didn't
noticed that
discipline the dog.
with
You know
one of
what
your
I'm saying?
videos, what is it? You were walking. I think it was. I don't know if it was Butter, but anyway,
Mhm.
because all of them have the same discipline.
Mhm.
You raised them all. You were walking, and I think one or two dogs came out.
Mhm.
And the first thing I thought about, I'm going to whip somebody hurt my dog.
Mhm. Mhm.
But they listened, and they were alert.
Mhm.
And then, like you were saying, the natural instinct was to charge,
Yeah.
but they didn't do it.
Yeah.
They stayed close to you.
Mhm.
And the one thing that set me off with that was that this should be published because this shows you that this is a trained dog.
Mhm.
He's obedient.
Mhm.
So what you may have seen in the news is not the breed itself, because this right here proves that the natural instinct is to charge
Yeah.
because his dog came out.
Mhm.
But because of you being the master and the obedient,
And a lot
He
of
stayed
times
to
when
you.
other dogs come out, they only want to introduce themselves to each other.
okay,
So a lot of times, a lot of people are threatened by the dog when the dog only want to introduce. They're not studying you.
right,
They want to introduce themselves to each other.
right,
So they gonna go around the dog, sniff his butt. The other dog gonna sniff their dog butt, and
Right.
they threw them. They done.
right,
But us as humans, we see a dog running towards us. The first thing we thinking is the dog finna attack us.
right,
So I mean, like I said, it's human instinct and it's cool. But a lot of times, it ain't really what we think when it comes to the dog. You know what I'm saying? So you can, it's dog language. So once you see a dog looking a certain way, he's snarling. Yeah, he's aggressive. But if the dog running to you, his tail wagging the whole time, he ain't coming to you with aggression.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if he's barking, he's slobbing out of his mouth, his hair raised up on the back of his neck, then yeah, you might want to watch it.
Right.
But if you walking your dog and a dog run up to your dog, he's just wagging his tail. He finna go sniff your dog butt.
Right.
And he probably wants you to pet him.
And see, that's another thing that when it comes to the showcases, you had to get Butter and Celine used to the smell, the sound, everything that's in that auditorium and the people. Because you don't want to put them out there and they're not familiar with the sound and everything.
I said, that'll breed aggressive. I ain't gonna say that'll breed, but that'll make a dog aggressive when they don't really have to, because the dog hasn't been socialized, and that's what we call it, socialization. So it's just like if you've been incarcerated 20 years,
right,
and you get out in the world and somebody say, hey man, this is how you meet women.
Right.
You haven't talked to a woman in 20 years. So you're going to be skittish. You're going to be scared.
Right.
You're going to be shy. Your tail going to tuck. So
right.
It's the same thing with the dog. If they haven't been around humans, but the only humans they've been around is you.
Right.
And then you finally take them to a show, it's 200 dogs here.
With
people walking around everywhere. They're going to freak out.
Right.
They're going to be peeing and pooping everywhere. Their tail going to be tucked. When your dog can't do that in the ring. Your dog got to look like he want to be there.
Right.
Yeah. So it's good to start out early. Once your dog has been vaccinated as a puppy, start taking the dog as many places. If you know you're going to show it, take it as many places as possible. Let as many people touch that dog as possible.
That's one of the reasons why you set up the, in the park, where the different breeds can come together as well as socialization.
Exactly. So they're used to being around other dogs. So once you go to the show, and like I said, that plays a part with dogs having anxiety and breathing real heavy and dying their shows because they can't calm down. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, if you got a smaller dog is more likely to have anxiety or heat strokes than a larger dog because it's so small.
Right.
So once that dog has never been socialized, you put it in a building with 2,000 people and 1,000 dogs, then what?
Ooh.
Dog probably gonna die.
Right. But also, a disclaimer needs to be made too. Now, are other dogs welcome to come to the showcase?
Yes, all dogs are welcome to come to the showcase.
But at the same time, no
dogs in heat, no aggressive dog. Keep your dog on a leash. Harnesses really don't work in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of people with retractable leashes and harnesses on their dog that don't really control your dog. Okay. Like I said, that all goes back to a training course. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, people they restrain their dogs how they want to restrain them, but the whole time you got this harness on this dog pulling you.
Right.
So like I said, if you see what I got on Butter, it's a simple little show lead, real thin. You know what I'm saying? So it really don't take all these big old chains and all this to keep your dog.
I see you. That old Butter.
No. No. Down, Butter. Get out.
So.
Get out.
But I've noticed, like I mentioned, I noticed that from the beginning with Butter, with her being the most, she had an attitude when she was a puppy.
Yeah. Always.
But since you have put her in the training, especially when it's to showing, now she's still mischievous, but she's more controlled.
Exactly.
And a mentality, and as I told you, it sounds cliche, but when you look at it, if you know Butter from the beginning, to where she is now, she has a champion mentality. It's the way that she carries herself.
And it's like I told people all the time, it's like once you put a leash on this dog and your dog is used to showing, it's like they click into show mode. Like I said, she can be running around my yard back and forth, but as soon as I put this leash on her, she thinks she finna go to the show. So her whole attitude, her whole demeanor changes. You know what I'm saying? Because she's okay, I'm going to congratulate her. I'm going to praise her. So at the end of the day, she feel like she's satisfying me by standing still in the show ring. Come here, Butter. Hey, come here. Come over here.
So the show is on November 11th.
November 11th, Bessemer Civic Center, 9 a.m.
And it's open to everybody.
Open to everybody.
And see, this again, we can't emphasize this enough. It's an open show. If you've never been to a dog show, this is the best way to go to a dog show. Now, it is on the same level as the Westminster, and because we're showing dogs, we're showing the champions of all the dogs, especially in the bully line. So this is a way of also understanding that there are different breeds under this one umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
And just because you have a pit is just part. That is not the entire breed.
Exactly.
It's just a member.
Exactly.
And so, and then with the bullies, you have 4.
Mm-hmm.
You have the, one more time.
Got the Pocket, Classic, Standard, and the XL.
XL.
Mm-hmm.
So, but this is a chance of you being introduced to the world of the bullies.
Mm-hmm.
And also you're going to have individuals, you're going to have vendors there that's going to have to do with dogs and all. And this is your chance too of getting supplements or whatever when it comes to your dog. It's not only for it's a dog, it's for dogs.
Yeah, exactly.
But this is a way, if you've never been to a dog show, this really is something.
Mm-hmm.
It
like
is.
I said, it's something for our kids to do too, man. Like I said, I've been noticing lately we have a lot of younger people getting into it. So like I said, it's something to keep them out the way, man. Something positive for them to do. And like I said, at least for 12 hours, they won't be in the street.
Exactly.
So like I said, it's killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I tell people when I first started, my whole mission is to get these kids out the way. Even like I said, when it goes back to the 100 Black Man Deep Walk. If somebody got a dog they love on the end of a leash, it's less likely for them to shoot at somebody.
Right.
Because they got this dog they got to run with. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So either you're going to lose your dog or you're going to shoot at somebody.
Right.
So like I said, I try to weigh the pros and cons. And like I said, they learning at the end of the day. Anytime they want to walk up on me, hey, man, what you think I need to do? Or it's more than I'm always here. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, it's kind of fulfilling 2 missions at one time.
Right. And see, too, you have brought, people don't have to do the legwork that you've already done because there was no one location for any of the standards or any of the information. So you provided one location.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, if you have any questions, and then 2, you're not too arrogant not to give out the information. And that's one thing, and I apologize to you because I know sometimes you don't like this. You had to work your ass off to get this because there was a lot of attitudes like, well, I'm making it, and I don't want you to be competitive to me, so I'm not going to give you the information.
Yeah.
Whereas with you, here's the information. Do whatever you want to.
Mm-hmm.
All I can do is provide you the information. These are the characteristics. These are the standards. These are the protocols. These are the guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
And it's there for you. Mm-hmm. And so people need to understand that you've done this in a year and a half, really in some cases less than a year.
Mm-hmm.
And then for Butter and for Celine to get to the capacity where they are, because no one taught you how to train Celine or Butter. And what you did, you did the
YouTube videos,
and then you even went to the shows, asking questions,
even losing. You know what I'm saying? The first time I put a dog in the show ring, I lost. So, like I said, a lot of times, a lot of people don't tell about that part. Like I said, even to this day, I could take Butter to the show ring and still lose.
Right.
Even though she's a triple champion, she can still lose.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you can't cry about it or quit doing what you're doing because you lost.
Right.
You just didn't have a better dog that day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it could have been anything.
And then if the dog that did win, you can look at that dog to
see why you lost.
Exactly.
So if you delusional if you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the dog she lost to. He a boy.
Right.
So accordingly, yes, the boys are gonna be bigger than the females.
Right.
But every time they get in the ring together, Butter gonna make that boy work.
Right.
And that's my whole goal. You're not gonna get an easy win on
there
Butter just because you're a boy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like I said, even me and the guy that owned the dog, me and him chop it up. He the bro, you give me hell every time I see you, man. I say, hey, bro, I know you got the bigger dog, bro. And they gonna choose the bigger dog. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But at the same time, I can't make it easy for you.
No. And plus, too, when you see the winner, that's just like in a football. I'm finding out that the coaches have either another coach going to a game of a future opponent, and they're videoing exactly the plays and all, and then they take these videos back and they watch and observe and they see exactly what's what.
Exactly.
That's the same way when it comes to your show. Yes, you won. I see why you won. So I'm going to have to enhance and better this so that way I'm going to make it harder for your ass because you may think that you got over this time.
Exactly.
But see, I see you.
Exactly.
And you're not, and again, you're not giving it away. You have to work for this. And we understand the genetics. We understand he's a male. He's going to have the mass and whatever.
Exactly.
But at the same time, butter's going to make your ass
he's
work.
Gonna know butter.
Right.
Yeah.
And then too, there's a reputation too. Like, oh shit, here's butter.
Yeah. So a lot of times we put in the crate at the show. You know what I'm saying? Because when people see it, especially with females.
Right.
Because a lot of people don't like, I don't know why they don't like showing the XL female. Everybody want to show an XL male. But me, I'm going to go the other direction. If I see everybody showing the male, I'm going to go show the female.
It's an ego thing.
Yeah. Yeah. If you go right, I'm going to go left.
Because, because like you were saying, because genetics
and it's harder.
Exactly.
It's harder to do. You know, it's harder to grand champ of XL female than it is a male. That's with any dog.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because the male's going to look bigger genetically.
And people need to understand, your first time out, you didn't win.
No, I didn't win.
But you learned from that loss.
Exactly.
And you also you win from those wins too, because you look at the other dogs that came close to you that could have won.
Exactly.
And so basically using everything as a whole, as a bigger picture, to make sure that your breed, your kennel, is up to par with the rest of the breeders and kennels. I can't do it.
It's all competition. You know what I'm saying? You study the competition just like you study the breeding.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You study all that. Like I say, even when it comes down to training your dog, you might want to have tried different tactics of making your dog stand there, because sometimes it'll come down to who dog can be still the longest. If the dogs are that great, if both of the dogs are great in that ring, sometimes it comes down to who gonna be still the longest. So it even comes with making your dog stack the longest.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I've seen it in the ring. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it. It'd been real stiff competition, and both of these dogs look good, but they gonna make them stand there longer just to see who gonna move first. So whoever move first lose.
So that has to do with concentration.
Yep.
But the dog's concentration
and how much y'all been training and you've been teaching that dog to focus.
Man,
that's why it's good to train at Lowe's, Home Depot, and stuff like that, because it's sound and stuff like that they don't hear all the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it'll keep their concentration and focus on you. Or when they sound sense that they don't hear every day.
Man. So November 11th.
November 11th.
Bessemer Civic Center.
Southern Bully Showdown, man. It's going down. Bessemer, Alabama, November 11th, 9 a.m. Bring your bulls. If you don't have a bull, bring you, your kids, grandma and them. Bring everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's a family event. There'll be some great dogs in the atmosphere, great food, and a whole lot of fun.
And you have 4 categories that still need to be filled with sponsors.
Yeah, if you want to sponsor, $75. The categories are Shorty Bull, male and female, and Old English, male and female. Like I said, you can get with me on Facebook, DeJuan Hall. Like I said, we're going to be doing advertisement for you. Your name will be on the show ring banner, and your name will be on the trophy of the category you sponsor.
And people have to understand, this is good advertisement.
Yeah, great advertisement. Like I said, I've been advertising this show for about a year now. And it's it's not too many people that can say they don't know about it.
That's right.
If you don't know, if you don't go to the show, it's not because you don't know, it's because you didn't want to go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I'm gonna keep pushing it until the day of the show. And then, like I said, even at the show, the DJ will be announcing your business or your kennels at the show. So people at the show will still be knowing about your sponsorship.
Now, also keep in mind, if there are no categories, it's still $75, but your logo will still be on the banner. So we still need those 4 categories to be filled. $75, free advertisement.
Free advertisement, your name on the show banner, and your name will be on that trophy.
And so also during the year, if you have extra money, you're always looking for sponsors. You're always looking for benefactors because like you got other shows coming up.
I want it to be an annual show. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna try to start it out to be an annual show. So every year we're gonna be doing the Southern Bully Showdown.
Man, I see it. I can see Butter being the grand. I can see 1 or 2 of her children being grands. Because I mean, people have to know your history. We're not getting into that right now, but people have to know your history.
Yeah.
This was not given to you.
Not at all.
Because of due diligence, because of tenacity. and because of motivation, determination, and the confidence that you have. And then you're not even going, even though you have 3 wins, you're not even resting yourself because, like you said, there's still a lot that you need to learn, that you want to learn.
Exactly.
But for you to have the location to get the information for those individuals, and then for you to have the connections that you have, you need to go and look on what is that other page that you have? You have your page, but you have 1888 Kennel.
1888 Bully Kennels. Dessalines got his own page. How we can help each other, we will. And like I said, if I don't know the answer to the question, it's 19 more kennels I can call and get the answer for you.
Man. But again, $75.
$75. Like I said, the admission to come into the show is $20. It's $10 per dog. So like I said, if you want to bring your dog, you want to show your dog, we have 2 sanctioned registries there, which will be the ICBR and the XLBC. So bring your XLs out. You know what I'm saying? The ICBR, you can show any kind of dog of any breed. It doesn't have to be a bully for you to show your dog in the ICBR. So if you got a Labrador, if you got a Rottweiler, a Doberman, Shih Tzu, if you want to show that dog, bring the dog out. It doesn't have to be a bully breed to show in that registry.
Man, I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man.
Because again, you have the walk, the 100 men walk, correct?
100 Black Man Deep Walk is coming up too. So like I said, make sure you go on Facebook and check out our page, 100 Black Man Deep Walk. On Instagram, check us out, 100 Black Man Deep Walk. Like I said, all the information is there.
And also you still do the what is the barbering in the
We haven't did it for a while. Like I said, I've been showing.
Yes, sir.
Like I said, I've been showing. So like I said, we're going to get that back up too.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So our haircuts for the homeless.
Right.
For always Bessemer, Birmingham.
And also you do your own dog food.
Gourmet doggy diet. So like I said, if you still need that, I'm making it every day. My dogs eat it all the time. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, even if you don't buy it, my dogs be eating it. So
right. So where they can find you?
They can find me on Facebook, DeJuan Hall, 1888 Bully Kennels, TikTok, 1888 Bully Kennel, Instagram, 1888 Bully Kennel.
Man, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you having me.
You have an activity coming up on the 11th. Please come out, support. This is a way, and it's a good activity. It's family oriented, so it's open for everyone. Yeah. So please come out, learn about the breed, come out, understand exactly. If you've never been to a dog show, it's extremely interesting. So it's just like going to a firearms or whatever. Yeah. You should see all these different breeds and all. So please come out. Know that you control yourself. Know your worth. Know your value. And most importantly, know that I love you. I will see y'all tomorrow. Y'all take care. The live stream on the show. On the show. The live stream. On the show. On the show. On the show. The live stream. The live stream on the show.